Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of On Brand from Muse by Clio. I'm Nicole Purcell, the president of the Clio Awards. And before I bring out my co-host, Tim Nudd, here's a quick word from our partners at Salesforce. Good afternoon, Tim. How are you?
Hi, Nicole. Doing well. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. I'm so happy. I get excited now more and more for the weekends to come. And I'm excited for today's interview. Such great work we're going to see today, which excites me.
Totally. We're really excited today to welcome Raja Manar. He's the Chief Marketing and Communications Officer at Mastercard, also the president of their healthcare business. And we have lots to talk about today. They've been doing some really cool things during COVID. They also do wonderful things in sonic branding, which I think we'll get into, along with a few other campaigns that we really liked as well. So let's welcome Raja.
Hi, Raja. How are you?
Very good. Thank you, Nicole. And hi, Tim. Thank you for having me on this event. Much appreciated.
We're so excited to see you. I have not seen you since the Grammys, when things were live and things were happening. It is now 6 months into this pandemic that we have going on. How personally are you dealing with things? How is it? Where are you? Who are you living with? And what is going on?
So I'm here in Cincinnati, Ohio, with my wife, my second son, and my 2 dogs.
Oh,
so
nice.
no complaints on any of these counts. So that's been pretty good. During normal days, pre-COVID, I used to be on the road for more than 200 days in a year. So this is really grounded. It feels very good. Started doing a ton of things, including I finished writing a book, The Future of Marketing. It's called Quantum Marketing. And I have started learning Spanish, and I started reading even more. I'm practicing, of course, my meditation and yoga every day. So it's been pretty good on the personal front.
So how has COVID changed the business within Mastercard as well as the marketing?
So in fact, when you look at COVID, unfortunately, it is not just one crisis, but it is a multitude of crises all happening together at the same time. So you have got the most obvious health crisis, but you also have got the economic crisis because millions and millions of people have lost their jobs. Yeah. Millions of small businesses have shut down. Industries have come to a grinding halt, like everything to do with travel and tourism. So there has been horrible mayhem all around, unfortunately. Plus, in countries like the US, we also have got the social crisis. And then on top of it all, there is a crisis of confidence in consumers because they are looking around and seeing people who are losing their jobs. And that's what then they start sort of becoming more conservative. They spend less. So it has all got a spiraling, effect downwards. Mm-hmm. And so it's probably, at least in my lifetime, one of the most severe crisis at a global level. Mm-hmm. I have seen the 2009 crisis, 2008 crisis. Mm-hmm. That was nothing compared to it, or the late 1990s crisis and so on. The way we are looking at it is very simple. First and foremost, crisis is the time when you have to stay with your people. When they are scared, when they are worried, you have to be there for them, with them. So we took a conscious decision as a company not to lay off anyone or to furlough any person for COVID this year. So that's something which has calmed down people quite a lot and reassured them. Second, management is a high-touch sport. You have to be in touch with your team members. Thankfully, the platforms like Zoom and Microsoft Teams, they're helping quite a lot. And while it is not exactly the same as being face-to-face with a person, it is a dimension superior compared to a regular phone call. So these are really fantastic. And we are trying to keep in touch with them and make sure that everyone is sort of in the know of what is happening. And also there is a sense of interaction so that nobody feels isolated and excluded. So this is the second thing that we are doing. Third, I would say, is reaching out to our customers and our consumers to make sure, because they all expect the brands to show up and help them. And we are exactly trying to do that. So it's not the time to really sell anything. This is really the time to serve them. So to serve them, say that, hey, we are here for you. We know what you are all collectively going through. If there is anything we can do to help, we are here for you. And if they do ask for help, make sure to follow through. Otherwise, it becomes lip service or political correctness. So we've been navigating pretty interestingly on that front. Lastly, I would say that, in 2014 or 2013, we have pivoted our strategy significantly towards experiential marketing, where we create and curate experiences that you can get only with a Mastercard. And to curate and create these experiences, we are relying on sponsorships of various events, like sporting events or concerts and so on. Now, fortunately, in a weird way, 3 years back, I was thinking about the kind of crisis that marketing is facing. And in that context, I created what I call a risk management function within marketing. I asked my previous CFO to take on the role of head of risk management within marketing, which typically marketing doesn't have its own risk management, but we created because marketing is up against so many risks that are coming at us, so many crises that are likely to come at us. And we put a whole heat map and also the building blocks in place. We never anticipated COVID, but we had all the building blocks ready. So when COVID happened, we could quickly cut over to a crisis management mode seamlessly. So all these experiences, we pivoted immediately to digital experiences, virtual experiences that people can have while they are at home. And we are doing it at scale, globally, and in an economical fashion. So that way we haven't really missed a beat, and things have been going pretty strongly for us, thank God.
Wow, that's great.
We have a little video to show of the digital experiences, actually. So let's have a look at that, and then we can learn a little bit more about that.
Hey everyone, and welcome, and thanks for joining me here on Mastercard's Twitter.
How about them apples?
There's the 04 ring. Pretty cool, huh?
Je m'appelle Antonin Bonnet, chef du restaurant Kinsu, Paris 6, et je vous emmène dans ma cuisine, venez avec moi.
It's so great to go live with all of you and feel like you're here with me.
It's been so wonderful hanging out with you guys.
I think a lot of companies have done virtual things. Some have done a better job than others. What have you guys learned about how to do virtual experiences well?
So firstly, there has to be a continuity with what we have been promising in the past. So the continuity is very critical. So if, for example, we're offering them music experiences, you have to think of music experiences which are almost as good as the physical music experiences or sporting experiences or culinary and so on. So this is number one. Two, not to lose focus. We have been focusing on 9 passion points till now, and we continued through the crisis only on these 9 passion points. Number 3, it has to be really relatable and appreciated by the consumers, meaning it has to be good enough to be sounding unique, seeming unique, feeling unique for the consumers. And because that's what Priceless is all about, something which money cannot buy, but you can get it because you have a Mastercard. Now, these experiences better be really good. The fulfillment has to be very, very good. And to virtualize a physical experience and you need to really rethink the consumer experience in total. So we have to think through how will the consumer react to this, how will he or she feel for this, etc., and then curate the whole thing. 5, it's economics. So what we actually discovered pretty nicely, and it's a good surprise, is that these digital experiences are much easier from a logistics point of view, as well as from expenses point of view. And plus, if you have an experience in this country, now you are able to offer it around the globe. And anyone can access these experiences digitally from anywhere. And that's a huge thing. So there have been some significant learnings, so much so that we never really had digital experiences as a part of our repertoire before COVID. But coming out of COVID, it'll be a significant component alongside the physical experiences, which are still, they are the pinnacle. Digital is good, but it's not as good as the physical experiences for sure.
That's interesting. Speaking of continuity, I know MasterCard has supported the LGBTQ community for many, many years. And this summer, you did something really interesting too, introducing the True Card. So let's check out that video, and then we can chat about that too.
For transgender people, a secure payment doesn't mean protecting yourself from someone buying sneakers with your card. No, if you're transgender, a secure payment means paying for something without being judged, questioned, disrespected, humiliated, harassed, even assaulted, simply because the name on your card doesn't match how you identify. This is about more than just keeping a card safe. It's about keeping us safe. True Name by Mastercard, the first card that allows you to display your chosen name because that's who you truly are.
That is just amazing. I'm sorry, I know Tim has questions, but I just want to say, like, what a great job. I'm so curious about how you guys were able to do that, but
Yeah,
it is just special and smart.
really cool creative expression of it as well in that spot. Tell us a little bit about this product and how hard it was to implement.
Yeah, it's actually, one of the, I think, most meaningful projects that we have done this year. And the idea is to understand the true pain points of people. We call it, the strategy of sense and sensibility. To have enough amount of sensitivity or sensitiveness to understand and appreciate what is happening just below the surface, what people are really going through. And one of the things we have found out is in terms of transgenders, when they change their gender and they have got a name change, the name changing process that they have to go through is not very easy. So they keep putting it off. And legally, it is necessary for the bank to put the credit card, to put the person's name on the card, right. Credit card, debit card, whatever it is there. And so if the person was Lucas before and now has become Lucy, well, the merchant may not even notice what is printed on the card. They themselves have the apprehension. So they actually hide it, like you saw in the video. They hide it and then show it, and they feel very awkward. And in some cases, genuinely, they're actually given the looks by the merchant saying that, hey, is this the genuine person, or is he or she stealing something from somebody? Right. So we said it's a very simple solution, right? The legal name has to be there, good. But it doesn't have to be on the front of the card. It can be the fine print on the back of the card. So put it there and give the true name of the individual, the name by which the individual wants to be called by, on the front prominently. Very simple solution, very small technology development, but a humongous positive impact. So for people who go through this kind of experience day in and day out, for them, they feel, wow, this is something which is fantastic. And we have got some of our own colleagues in the company and with our agencies, etc. And they are effusively, thankful. But equally importantly, the rest of the employees feel that this is a company that walks the talk. Because when you want to launch something like this, it can be a little polarizing at times. And there are people who will come and say, oh, Mastercard has gone crazy. These guys are doing that. These guys are doing that, etc., etc. And we said that, look, it's not about popularity contest here. Here, we are an inclusive company. We want to be taking a bold stance and do something about it. And if it is not popular with some quarter, that's okay. Because at the end of the day, everyone in this world deserves to have what they want. And if we can facilitate, we can enable it, we should absolutely do it. So this is something which has been profoundly meaningful to many of us who have worked on the project. And for the company in total, the employees feel fantastic. And we got a lot of positive response. And many banks have actually jumped on to join hands with us and launch the cards. Yeah.
Oh my God, amazing. Something else creative that you did last year is you launched your new Sonic brand identity. We're going to take a quick listen, and then we'll talk about it in a minute.
Together, these ingredients make up the Sonic DNA of Mastercard. This Sonic DNA makes the brand clearly recognizable at all consumer touchpoints, while offering the highest degree of creative flexibility when creating new music and sound assets.
critical, Raja, is sonic branding going to be coming to companies moving forward?
See, in fact, in some rudimentary form, sonic branding has been in existence for decades, say jingles. But in a real sense, jingles are just one form of identifying a brand, but it is not a comprehensive sonic identity for the brand, right? And I'll come to this point in just 1 second. But if you see the environment that we are in right now, we are getting smart speakers, Internet of Things, wearables. There are many devices which do not offer a visual real estate. The transaction happens through voice. The customer is asking something, hey Alexa, or hey Google, or whatever. And then it responds back in voice. And then they say, I want to buy this particular item. They say, yeah, it gives some recommendation. You say, go ahead and buy. In this entire process, brands get totally displaced and disintermediated. So how do you show up as a brand in the stream? You need to have an audio version of your visual brand logo or brand in an audio form. So this is what we call as our sonic branding. So it is not just about one sound, but it is an architecture. So for example, at Mastercard, we have come up with 10 different layers in the architecture. The first layer is a 30-second melody. And then a second layer is a 3-second sonic signature, which is a subset of this 30 seconds melody. And the third one is a 1.3 second sound. It's just got a few notes, and it's just 1.3 seconds, which is a subset of the sonic signature. So each one builds upon the other one. And it sounds very simple, but it is anything, but simple. We had spent nearly 2 years to come up with the right kind of a song, the tune or the melody, because it has to be pleasant. It has to be memorable. It has to be neutral. It should not be dominating, because likable things can become very dominating very quickly. Then it subsumes everything. It has to actually support everything else. It has to be highly versatile, which means whether I play it in a context like a football match or in an opera, it has to be feel native. Likewise, it has to be very adaptable to different geographies, whether it is in Shanghai or it's in Dubai or in Colombia, wherever it is, it should feel very native to those cultures and those countries. So when I told, this is the brief that you have got, dear agency, obviously they looked like I had multiple heads to start with, but then we have come a long way. We created lots and lots of melodies working with musicologists, because we need to make sure it's an original melody that doesn't sound like some other melody, because obviously it has to be original. And we worked with musicians and albums and artists around the world. And finally, we came up with this 30-second melody. And once we have that, now we are rendering it for different geographies. So you might listen to a different version of that melody, meaning if the melody is the same, but the instrumentation, the rhythm, the pitch, everything are different from country to country, but the continuity is unmistakable. So you listen to one country, you go to some other country diametrically opposite, it is still Mastercard melody, but rendered very differently. And we have created the sonic signatures likewise for different contexts and different types of ads, different events, and so on. And the sonic acceptance sound, which is each time you use your Mastercard at a point of sale or at a point of interaction, you'll get the sound of Mastercard. Yeah. This had to be done very thoughtfully, because just imagine if you are the checkout clerk in Walmart and you have got these guys going and paying with their Mastercards whole day long. If you're listening to this, we don't want you to get fatigued and go crazy. So we had to do research in terms of what notes and what instruments would actually cause the least fatigue, if at all. And it should actually be enhancing your experience where possible. So we had to be very thoughtful. We worked with neurologists to make sure that this is all playing right, etc. And I feel very grateful that in less than 1.5 years since launch, we have today about 54 million points of interaction around the world, where when you pay with a Mastercard, it gives back the sound of the Mastercard. So it's a confirmation, a sense of reassurance for the customer. And also, we have got this year recognized as the best sonic brand in the world, which is delightful, because there have been other brands which have been doing this for a number of decades, not even years. And we came from right from behind and leapfrog. Now the challenge is, how do you stay ahead there and keep releasing the next layers of our architecture to bring the entire sonic branding to full life?
That's amazing. That sounds like a lot of work.
It is.
We're going to talk about one last piece before we start to wrap things up, something you did at the end of last year in Dubai, Astronomical Sales. We're going to take a quick look and talk about that.
In the slowest retail season, Mastercard built a unique sale tied to the eclipse. Since 97% of the sun would disappear, 97% of the price would disappear too, on the region's biggest online retailer, Noon.com. Getting people excited not only for the sight of the century, but also for the sale of the century. On the day of the eclipse, events were held across Dubai. When the eclipse started, so did the sale. And as the sun diminished, so did the prices, reaching discounts of 97% and returning gradually to full price. For those who purchased at the exact moment when the eclipse formed the Mastercard logo, priceless prizes were awarded to shoppers. Suddenly, from 6:30 to 8:30 a.m., one day after Christmas, Astronomical Sales brought Dead Season back to life with 18,000 new Mastercards registered. Products sold out in minutes, and the brand was seen in a whole new light.
تعاون شركة Mastercard.
The Mastercard logo in the sky.
I wish I was there to do the shopping because that sounded another amazing piece that you guys did.
I wish I was there too.
How do you create marketing around current events that are in a relevant way like you just did here?
See, this is where I really feel proud of our agency and our team members. They have the heart and they're passionate about, trying to bring Mastercard to life. So when we had launched, I believe it's about close to 2 years, our symbol brand, which is without the name Mastercard. So people started looking for ways to, where you can have the intersecting circles. So the red and yellow, or even if they are not trying to look for them, etc. And suddenly the team came up with this idea saying that, no, actually, when you look at the solar eclipse, the way it forms at some point, it's exactly like Mastercard. So they said, oh, we should do something around it. And then they started ideating. And then when they sent the proposal to me, I said, this is brilliant, absolutely mind-blowing. And they went, but it involved a lot of logistics to be handled. But they were all over it. So with the merchant tie-ups on the one hand, and then you have to keep tracking what percentage is the overlap. And accordingly, the sales will go up or down in terms of the percentages in real time. And there was a tremendous amount of excitement in the whole company around it. And it was, I think, a brilliant and a very, very creative, innovative way to do it. And literally the statement which people were making in the company is saying, my God, the whole universe is now conspiring to create the Mastercard logo. We said, you cannot get better than that. So I think kudos to the team and to the agency. They have done an absolutely phenomenal job. I feel so good about it.
Very cool.
I love that campaign too. Raja, I know it's hard to predict anything right now, but can you tell us what the next sort of 6 months to a year might look like for Mastercard in terms of your marketing?
I think it's going to be very exciting. We have got a ton of things in the pipeline. For one, in the next 6 months, probably earlier than 6 months, we'll be launching our first music album. The idea is to popularize the sound of Mastercard without making it look like a corporate anthem. If it looks like corporate anthem, people will throw up. Nobody wants to listen to corporate anthems, but this is a real pop music. And we are working with one of the top producers in the world, composers in the world. He works with the likes of Lady Gaga and Mary J. Blige, Miley Cyrus, and so on. So with his support, we are actually creating about 10 to 11 songs, which will be released as an album. So that's one big thing. Number two is we are really taking our cause marketing to a different level. So we are, as you know, we have launched something called Priceless Planet. That's going to go to the next level in a big way. It's about environment and conservation of our environment, etc. We cherish and value our partnership with the World Food Program. We have been their partners for a number of years now, and it was delightful to see last week that they have won the Nobel Peace Prize this year. And that's a cherished partnership that we have got. With Stand Up to Cancer, we are focused on finding cures for cancer. And this organization has already found cures for seven drugs have been brought out, and which have been FDA approved. So we are an integral part of that, and we are the biggest partner. And in those kind of things, this is so the purpose drivenness and the cause marketing is going to go to a different level as we move forward. Of course, we have taken a commitment about inclusiveness around the world. One of those, is like we are trying to see how to bring 1 billion consumers into a situation where they have access to the financial system. Today, they're really, at the lowest end of our what you call socioeconomic strata in the world. Those are the people that don't even have an access to the financial system, and which means they have to borrow money or they have to do things that in a disproportionately expensive way for them. They are the most disadvantaged. We're trying to bring them up into the so they have access like anybody else has got. So we're trying to. So there's a lot of action that's going on that side. Brand. We have some exciting plans. I cannot talk about them right now, but we have got some cool things that are going to come, some kinds of value propositions, and I'll not say anything more than that. So we are busy. We are busy, firing on all cylinders, and lots to really come out on the other end when we are out of COVID.
Amazing. Well, we are in awe of everything that you're doing. I think it's amazing. You are very busy. We're excited to see the next 6 months and hear these, what's happening. Thank you so much for giving us the time today. We truly appreciate it. I'm excited to talk to you, and we hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, thank you, Nicole, and much appreciate, and always a pleasure to be with you folks. And thank you for the opportunity today, and I hope to stay connected very often, and hopefully we'll do it again sometime soon. And particularly as I see with my new book coming, Quantum Marketing.
We can't wait.
It's something which I'm very excited. It's been a labor of love and a passion project for me. And talking about how marketing, what works today is not going to work tomorrow at all. It's going to completely break down. So the new method and approach of marketing, it's literally the new field of marketing called quantum marketing. So I'm getting extraordinarily positive response from my peers. Various CMOs and professor at Harvard and Yale and so on.
Amazing.
So thrilled about it, and it was quite a cheap thrill for me to see on Amazon that the book was appearing for pre-sale, though it is going to be released on the 9th of February, the official release. It's there for pre-sale.
Wow, okay.
So I felt very good, but
we will head to Amazon, definitely. Thank you. Good. Great. Thank you. Bye. Oh my God, that's so interesting. Okay, we have to get the book.
We do. Maybe do an excerpt. Sounds good.
That would be wonderful. Tim, so much fun again. See you soon.
See you next time. And thank you guys for watching. For the latest in creativity every day, check out musebyclio.com. And we're back here every Thursday with new episodes of On Brand. Thank you guys for watching.